Hi, I'm Hillary, and welcome to my closet. So today I'm going to share with you my luxury wish list video as of 2025. Some of these items are subject to change and fall off as the brands release other things, but for now, here's the items that I want. So first on my list is a petite peekaboo and an exotic. I like exotics here. I have one stingray bag and I have one with some snakeskin detailing. Um, so on my wish list is a petite peekaboo and an exotic skin, probably stingray. Sometimes they'll release ostrich that I like, but I tend to not prefer ostrich. It really depends on how they dye it and the colorway. But I really love stingray because it has this beautiful natural iridescence, and my favorite type of Fendi baguette is a sequin one. So I like sequins and sparkles. So I'm going to Rome in May, and my goal is to try to pick up a peekaboo there. It is all kind of dependent on the colors that they'll have available. I don't like either of the seasonal colors, and I don't know if they'll have any colors from past seasons there. So we'll see. But anyways, that's the current plan. If I don't pick it up in Rome, then I will just save longer and pick it up later this year, and it'll be kind of my bag at the end of the year. So the other thing that I would like to pick up is the other couple of bags from Fendi that I would like to buy this year or in the future is I really like the mini peekaboo. That's my preferred peekaboo size. I think it holds quite a bit and it's still kind of fairly a small bag. I don't really have to carry much. So I prefer the Celeria style to the classic way, but either one is fine. So I would like it in white or a chocolate brown, kind of similar to Bottega's fondant. I tried on the Andiamo bag in fondant in the small size, and I was kind of like, well, I'd rather just have a peekaboo this way. And in the fall, they tend to release the darker colors, so they'll either be a fondant or a burgundy. But I also would like a white bag at some point, and I think a white peekaboo would be just great. The other thing I would like is a mini baguette in just a plain leather way, or depending on the canvas. I don't prefer the black and brown canvas, but they'll release kind of blue or orange, or they kind of do kind of different colored canvases, and it'd be cool to get a baguette in that style. But the mini size, I don't really like the medium size because it becomes just a handheld bag for me because it doesn't really quite fit over my shoulder correctly. And I have to do kind of a strap hack in order to get it to work crossbody. Whereas the mini baguette just fits crossbody for me. However, I do have a medium baguette on my wish list, and I'd really like an embellished version of one. Originally, I thought it'd be sequins, some kind of sequins color, and whatever color they release for a seasonal version. But from the fall winter 25 runway that they just showed, they had this beautiful embellished baguette, and it was like pink satin, but it had kind of like Art Deco embellishments. I'll put a picture up here. I only have runway photos, so like I don't know what the bag looks like. But anyways, that's my kind of goal for fall, is to pick up that bag. Speaking of fall winter, I've really gotten into Lacoste recently, specifically their runway collection. I just think it's a good mix of their kind of traditional styles, but still more sporty and fashion, which fits my vibe. So one of the things that I want from the fall winter collection that they just showed is they have a bunch of really cool trench coats. I really would like a designer trench coat, but I don't really necessarily need to go buy one from Burberry or Saint Laurent or anything like that, because it does rain in Southern California, but not enough to justify a $3,000 Burberry trench coat. Or I might find an outlet deal at some point, but I don't really need that type of trench coat. But anyways, Lacoste had some really cool ones. I'll put the ones I liked up here. Another thing that they had was these wool suits. They came in 3 colors: white, hunter green, and a fuchsia. I'm leaning towards the hunter green or fuchsia. And then they also had what I'm calling the tennis net clutch. I'll put a picture up here. I only have this picture, really. I'm not really into the Lang Long bag that they just released, but I do really like this tennis net clutch, at least for now. The other thing that's always been on my wish list, kind of in a similar vein to the medium baguette, is one of the classics from classic house codes from Chanel is tweed. So I would really like a mini tweed bag. I don't tend to gravitate towards the regular classic flaps or any of the other classic styles, but I really like the mini rectangular tweed. It's a good bag, fits pretty much all I would need, and it hits me crossbody pretty well, which is kind of some issues that I run into. Even though these bags are all shown on 6-foot models, they all seem to be made for women that are much shorter than me. I'm 5'8", so the bags just hit really weird crossbody. Another thing on my list is I'd like some kind of shoulder bag. I've been kind of drawn to the Jackie bag, but Celine recently released the Camille 16 bag, and I also think that's really cool. I would get it in a tan. Something about Celine tan is just a beautiful color. And then the last few items are jewelry. So I would like to get some kind of ring stack going. I want a pinky and a middle finger ring. So I'm going to start with the pinky rings first. They're not really out of the box or, outside of the big brands, but I've always liked the Serpenti ring and the Just Clue. The versions I like are white golds with diamonds on the kind of front part of it. I'll insert pictures of both versions up here. I don't want fully diamond encrusted or anything. It's just a little hint of sparkle. And I would like white gold for my pinky ring. Another thing is I'd like to get a dress watch of some kind. I tend to just wear an Apple Watch 95% of the time, so I don't really need an expensive watch of any. I don't need like a uber fancy, expensive watch from like Rolex or anything like that. But Bulgari has a Serpenti watch, not the wraparound one, but it's just kind of like a normal watch, but it just has the Serpenti head. I've tried on the wraparound watch. It's really cool, but it just does not fit. I need them to make like one size bigger because it just isn't going to work. And then Cartier has the tank watch. It'd be cool to get a nice dress tank watch. I'd also like to start building on my ready-to-wear. I don't really have any specific items in mind other than I'd really like to get something from Schiaparelli. I'm going to France next year for my birthday, and I'd like to buy that as a birthday gift. So I'm thinking probably one of their coats or shirts. Apparently they can do suits, so might look into seeing what that would look like. And so yeah, that's kind of how I plan to build out my ready-wear. Anyways, that's my current luxury wish list. Obviously things will fall off or I decide not to get or kind of be pushed further into next year. But anyways, as of right now, that's kind of what I have in mind. If you have any luxury items that you're looking to get this year or next year, comment down below. I'd love to know what's on your mind. If you like my channel, please like the video and subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate it. I release videos once a week. Bye!